Welcome back to another edition of Between Two Fars. I'm Warneke Miller, and I am so glad to have Ted Rowe with us today. Now, Ted is the Chief Counsel at the Office of General Counsel for Johnson Space Center. But he's really here today because he brings a very unique perspective to this office. He has worked in positions across NASA since 1986, including the Mission Operations Directorate, the International Space Station Program Office, the Technology Transfer Office, and he's held different positions, including doing work in project management and even guidance algorithm development. And we've got Ted here today because we really want to take a look at the transformation that NASA has been undergoing since the 2000s. And this episode, we're just going to give you the background. We're going to let you know what's been going on, what changes and transformations have been occurring. And throughout this series, we're going to get down to what those transformations mean to you as a contracting officer or a procurement attorney. Welcome, Ted. Thank you so much for helping us sort of give some context to what's going on with NASA, what's happening today, and maybe what we can expect in the future. To start with, can you give us a background? What has been going on with NASA since 2000?
Well, thank you, Warneke. It's a pleasure to be here. So as you said, the series of Between Two Far episodes is going to be focused on increasing the viewer's awareness on this transformation that's been going on at NASA in the area of human spaceflight exploration. Now, this transformation affects everyone at NASA, whether you work in a technical organization, a programmatic organization, or in the mission support area. And, you know, many of us are so overworked in our daily grind, doing day-to-day tactical actions. We don't really have the time to think about the big picture and to kind of contemplate on why things are happening, why they're happening at NASA. And so that's kind of the purpose of this series of Between Two Far episodes, is to give you that time to an understanding and awareness of the big picture, and try to get out of that us being primarily reactive to more using our experiences and knowledge of working tactical stuff, and then combining that with an understanding of the strategic high-level transformation that's occurring at NASA to become really a better attorney and a better provider for legal services, or if you're in the procurement area, a better provider of procurement services. So it's important to understand this big picture, and we're going to talk about in this series what's driving this transformation, and it's going to be in the context of we talk about transformation a lot. I'm sure that whether you work in OGC or in procurement, you're kind of tired of transformation, but we're talking about something different. We're not talking about, map transformation. We're talking about what's been going on at NASA as an agency in the area of human spaceflight operations since the mid-2000s. When NASA was first formed back in the late 50s, human spaceflight operations was really more of a dream than a reality. So NASA had to develop the systems, products, processes, operations pretty much from scratch. And that meant that everything had to be built by or for NASA. And that happened for a long time. It took a long time before, industry caught up where it could provide services commercially to NASA, where NASA was just a customer of many. And that's still happening. But it took a lot longer than a lot of people thought it would take. There are prognosticators a long time ago that thought that NASA was going to move out of low Earth orbit many, many years ago. But that really hasn't happened yet, and it probably is not going to happen until the 2030s. But it's happening. The transition is occurring. NASA's dominance over human spaceflight is declining, and that's a fact. So NASA has to transform itself and adjust, and that transformation is being reflected in the area of procurement, particularly in the way NASA procures goods and services. And we're going to talk about that in this series of Between Two Far episodes. But the next episode, which you'll have to wait and watch the next episode, we'll talk about the root causes of why this transformation is going on, what's driving this transformation. But this is just an introduction. So that's an introduction for you.
If you could sum it up in a sentence or two, what's different with the way NASA is operating today as compared to 20, 25 years ago?
Yeah, so NASA does not have exclusivity over human spaceflight anymore. So that has to change. The mindset has to change when an organization doesn't have exclusivity, where, you know, NASA's not the only game in town when it comes to human spaceflight exploration, and we're going to be one of many customers in terms of human spaceflight exploration. So that's the big change that's been occurring since the mid-2000s.
Well, you heard it here, guys. We've been moving from a position of being the one and only to being a hopefully consumer marketplace for spacefaring services. How has that impacted the way we do business? Let's talk about that next time on Between Two Fars.